Hey guys, here's our first set of secret notes. Remember, we're keeping it on the DL that we're doing this because not all my other classes are doing this, okay? So we're doing converting between measurement systems. Our first vocabulary word is conversion factor. It's just a ratio of two equivalent measurements. So here's this beautiful table I've given to you. This is going to be your guide for all things converting between measurement. You also have these conversions on the math chart, which I'll show you tomorrow in class. So, but for right now, you can just use this one that I've given to you, okay? So, I see, here's the ones for length. Customary is just really what we use here in the United States of America, and pretty much everywhere else uses the metric system. But here's the conversions, okay? So, let's look at this first example right here. So when lifting weights, John adds 11 3/500 kilograms to his bar. About how many pounds does he add to this bar? So I see my two units are kilograms and pounds. So first we're going to find the conversion factor. So I would go up here and see that 1 pound is 4,536 10,000ths kilograms. Okay, so they have it already written for you. So now you're going to write the conversion factor as a ratio. We have 1 pound to 4,000. Oh, 454. See, my conversion goes one more decimal point further. So you can even change this to 4,454. Ooh, 454 thousandths. See, Miss Canton is crazy. Okay, so now we have it as a ratio. So now we're going to convert the given measurement. We take the kilograms and you multiply it times your ratio. So you just do top times top, bottom times bottom, which means you end up dividing. Because really this is like over 1. And then you end up dividing. So John adds about 25 pounds to his bar. Okay. Now, this is not my favorite way to solve. This is a great example. So if you want to use this way, that's fine. I'm going to show you how I like to do it and how I really want you to do it on this example right here. So I see it says Kate ran 5 miles. How far did she run in kilometers? So if you look down here, I left you this wonderful message. It says the units you are converting from should be in the denominator. So the units I'm converting from in this one is miles. So for my word ratio, I'm going to put miles in the denominator and kilometers in the numerator. Okay? So I wrote my word ratio. Now we're going to set up a proportion. This should be familiar. You did these last year, but we're going to talk about it again. So I'm going to go up here and look at what I know about kilometers and miles. I see 1 mile is 1 61/100 kilometers. So I'm going to line that up. I have 1 61/100 kilometers over 1 mile. Now you put what you're given from the problem. I don't know kilometers. I'm going to put my variable there, so x, and 5 miles. Now, this is the next step that you should remember from last year. You're going to cross multiply. Okay? Well, 1 times x is just x. Okay? So I go across, up, bottom to top, and bring it down. Okay? So now do it on the other side. 5 times 1 61/100. So I'm going to go off to the side and multiply. You can pause and do this on your own if you would like. Count the number of numbers behind the decimal. So 8 5/100. Okay? So 5 miles is equal to 8 5/100. So this was my answer. Okay? Now, flip it over. Let's look at some more. Here's another way to look at it. Alex filled a 5-gallon jug with water. How many liters of water are in the container? Okay, so if I look at my conversion factor, I see that 1 gallon is equal to 3 79/100 liters. So if I have 5 gallons, which is what I see right here, this is 1 gallon, 1 gallon, 1 gallon, 1 gallon, 1 gallon. From looking at my chart though, this 1 gallon right here has 3 79/100 liters. So now to find out how many liters there are in all, you're just going to multiply times the number of gallons. So we're going to do 3 79/100 times 5. Go ahead and pause and do the multiplication. Okay, 5 times 9 is 45. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 4 is 39. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18. Then you count the number of numbers behind the decimal. There's 2, 0, so 2 total. So it's 18 95/100 liters. All right, now let's look at this next example. It says Bob's driveway is 45 feet long by 18 feet wide. He plans to pave the entire driveway. The asphalt paving costs $24 per square meter. What will the total cost of the paving be? So we're going to find the area of the driveway in square meters. So first we have to convert the feet to meters. So look what they've done here. They've set it up as a proportion and multiplied by 45 on both sides. Okay? So they're just using like equivalent fractions. Then you find the area by doing base times height. Okay? And then you multiply it times the $24 for this cost. All right, let's do two more examples. A ruler is 12 inches long. What is the length of this ruler in centimeters? All right? So looking at this, we're going to always put the unit we're converting from on the bottom. I'm converting 12 inches, so inches is going to be my denominator. My numerator is going to be centimeters because that's what I'm looking for, okay? So I know I have, I'm going to look back at my chart. That's what I need to do. I see that 1 inch is 2 54/100 centimeters. So 2 54/100 centimeters is 1 inch. I want to convert 12 inches to centimeters. So now here, you can either think about it as equivalent fractions and do times 12, or cross multiply. So 1 times x is x, 12 times 2 54/100. 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5 is 10, 5, 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 2. Remember, if you need to pause, you can. So it's x equals 30 48/100 centimeters. All right, let's look at the next one. A kitten weighs 4 pounds. What is the approximate mass of the kitten? So kilograms. Remember, the units you're converting from should be on the denominator. So the one I'm looking for is going to be in the numerator. To abbreviate pounds, we do this LB. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. It makes no sense. There's no P, no any other letters in this abbreviation, but that's what it is. So when I look back at my chart, I see that kilograms is equal to 1 pound. 454 thousandths kilograms is 1 pound. So you do 454 thousandths in 1 pound. I want to convert my 4 pounds to kilograms. So now you cross multiply. 1 times x is x. Now let's do 454 thousandths times 4. Count the number of numbers behind the decimal. So 1 816 thousandths kilograms. Sorry, I forgot to write it down here too. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to try the first two on the back. Go ahead and pause, and I want you to try these first two problems right here. Okay? Try 1 and 2. Pause. All right, now let's look at them together. The first one, I'm looking for yards, and I'm converting it to meters. So I'm going to put yards on top, meters on bottom. I know from looking at my chart that 1 yard is 90/100ths of a meter. And I want to convert that to 1 82/100ths meters. All right. So now cross multiply. Oh, I forgot to put my x. So it's 0.91x equals 1 82/100ths. Now when I have it like this, I'm going to solve this like an equation. So I see that this is multiplication here. I want to undo it. So divide by 90/100ths. And you should have gotten x equals 2. So 2 yards. All right, let's look at this next one. We're starting with miles going to kilometers. So kilometers on the top, miles is on the bottom. I know that 1 61/100ths kilometers is equal to 1 mile. I'm looking for kilometers, and I have 3 6/10 miles. So you cross multiply. 1 times x is x. Now let's do 1 61/100ths times 3.6. And then I got 5 796,000 kilometers. Okay? If you have any questions, please come into tutoring in the morning. If not, I'll see you in class. Oh, pause. I want you to try 3 and 4 before class tomorrow. You don't have to do any more on this page, okay? But make sure you bring it back to class. All right, have a good night.